we're live.
Hello.
Hello.
And welcome to no one.
To us. Why is this not working? We're live.
We're live.
We're live.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, where the heck in schmack is
Our little chat.
our chat dog?
Why is it not letting me? Twitch.
Because we can't do it without that.
No, we cannot. Activity. I do have permission. I made it up.
What is it?
What's happening?
Copyright on
It's okay.
business. I just got a notice.
It probably says we're thrifting.
Nope. It says snacks and chats.
Okay, well that's great. No, but I do have permission.
We are so excited about the progress we've made today on cameras, but now we are missing our chat box, so we can't hear from you, and that is not going to work. So give us just a second.
Just a second.
I'm excited about mac and cheese today, Abby.
I
I should turn the
know.
oven on, babe.
Activity. Okay, just here's an idea. Let me see the things that I would like to see, please. Activity.
How about our chat?
Stream preview.
Do we have any viewers yet? No? We don't know.
We don't know, especially because what's happening. Hi! Please be with us for a moment.
Oh, but then we can't see ourselves right there.
I know, I don't know what's... Oh, that might be because it was paused. Is that...
No? Is it because of our little delay? Are we not on delay anymore?
No delay.
Yeah, we don't need it. We're professional.
We're professional.
Plus, it was crazy that day that it was like echoing. And
Yeah. Okay. Has a good face.
I know. There's a couple videos on the thing that froze on me, and just the like, wow, that's humbling.
Why?
Gosh!
Wow, this is so cool.
But by the time we get all this stuff figured out, we're gonna be experts at Twitch.
You're right.
So,
You are correct. We were doing so good though.
yeah, we've been really proud of ourselves all afternoon because of how great this was going.
And now
No, it's not.
Now it's not.
But on that other one, we can see Nikki sent us a hello.
We sure can. Yeah.
But then we can't see ourselves.
Wait. I mean, we can do a little bit of magic, which is pretty easy. We just go like this, and then we go like this, and then see, we can see what everyone says.
Yeah.
But it would be cool if we could just see it on here.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I think that.
I don't know why you're not letting me see the information. I'm allowed to do it.
Can you see us okay, Nikki?
And can you hear us?
No comment. Okay, well, it's not going to work. So let's leave that alone. It's not going to do nothing.
Okay.
And maybe make us full screen here.
Yes to both. Okay.
And then scooch it
And scooch.
just an inch over.
Boom.
And now
we can see us and that.
And then what
Incredible.
about our new very fancy second location cam?
Yes.
Wait till you see this.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna be so excited.
Second location cam, activate.
No. Please.
Man, are you in for a treat?
Please. Please.
What if we started?
Guess what? It's
Right there.
Cheese Week!
Cheese Week.
And we're figuring shit out.
Wait till you see this. It's
Wowie
very-
kazowie. We're gonna try not to call the police.
I mean,
Hey, look at that!
We figured it. Abby, great job. Great
IT.
job, Abby.
I'm IT.
No thanks to Bonita, who did not contribute here at all.
really like if Bonita could kind of figure it out as our producer. I feel like she should be doing a lot of this. But instead, she's just staring at us right now.
Ghastly. Hi, guys. So, okay. So
hi.
If we scoot over, that
we're going to scoot.
Hello. Thank you. Do you see this incredible dual cam that we have?
Have you ever seen anyone so technologically advanced?
It's incredible. It is really exciting.
Yeah, we're pretty good at this. So week 2 and we got it figured out.
Scoochy scooch.
Yeah.
So when you scooch that down, is it, if it's not in this frame, Nikki can't see it?
No, Nikki can see everything.
Right, but when we have this scooched down.
Yes, if I go, Nikki can't see it.
Now you can't see it? Did it go away?
Yeah, Nikki, can you see it?
Nikki might be our new Bonita. You better watch your step.
Yeah, Bonita.
I think this is gonna work.
Gorge.
But we don't need it just yet because we're gonna get started. Well, should we? Who do we have? Just Nikki? Not that that's a problem. We'll do this whole show
just for you, Nikki. Right now we just got Nikki, but that's okay.
That's fine.
That's fine. We're making mac and cheese. Nikki, are you making it with us?
Well, they can't because we didn't post.
Oh, that's true. We didn't.
A recipe.
But maybe you'll make it after us.
Well, once you see how easy this is, you surely will.
Surely will.
Because. Yay. Oh, okay. Well, I don't know. So I don't know what happens when it goes away, but we can still see it, and that's fine.
But now it's there.
Yay.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Maybe we'll just chat and hang out for a second and see if we do get a couple more people with us, so that we don't have to double back. But I see no reason that we can't get started. We're very excited.
Oh yeah, it's 9 p.m. there. Sorry.
Where Nikki is? Mm-hmm. Oh gosh.
Yeah. So probably no p.m. Mac and cheese.
I mean, midnight mac and cheese though.
True.
I'm not a drinker, so I would take midnight mac and
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, for sure.
I would take midnight mac and cheese over midnight margaritas, which is, as you know, a Halloween treat because it's from Hocus Pocus.
Midnight margaritas is from
9 p.m.
Not. Hocus
well,
Pocus.
Whatever.
Hocus Pocus
Practical
is a
magic.
children's movie.
I don't know.
But if they're talking about margaritas, sure. But Practical Magic. Do you know that sometimes I just turn on the movie Practical Magic for the beginning? I don't actually want to see whatever Angel of. I don't want to see that stuff. It's too dark. So I just watch it for the beginning where
It's
they're like,
too dark for you.
It's not too dark. I like the movie, but sometimes I just want like a happy, good feeling kind of fallish movie. And
hello. How do you?
Oh, hello, neighbor. Hey, what's up?
Howdy, neighbor. How do you pretend to like Halloween if you're afraid of everything spooky?
I don't pretend to like Halloween. I love Halloween. I do.
Just not the spooky parts.
Not the spooky parts.
I like Halloween spooky all year. We stay spooky around here.
Yeah.
It's mac and cheese day. Well, it's cheese week.
It's cheese week.
And to kick off cheese week, we're making mac and cheese. Mm-hmm. And I have a recipe for mac and cheese.
Yes.
And it is a doozy. Yeah. But it won't work. It won't work now because A, gluten free. Mm-hmm. And so I've done some research, Abby. I went deep into the archives of the internet. Mm-hmm. And I read lots and lots of comparisons of different flours. Make sure your phone charger is still pushed in there. Lots and lots of descriptions of different flours that are gluten-free. But guess what? Tonight, before we get any further, this recipe is it's your option. You could do gluten-free or not gluten-free. It will work either way, and I'll explain more later. But this is not an inherently gluten-free recipe. Yep. So even if you are pro-gluten, this one will work. Yeah. And it will work not only for mac and cheesy, but you can use it for nacho cheesy, cheese sauce, cheese soup, Abby.
Ooh.
Yes, if you wanted to do
like a little beer cheese soup.
Beer cheese, this recipe will work really well for beer cheese. In fact, this is how I made the beer cheese for that last event that we did.
Oh, yeah.
Also, broccoli cheddar soup.
Yum.
This recipe will work. So this is a heavy duty recipe. This one, we're going to work it out while we're here. And I'm going to show you the technique and then we'll write everything down. Give you all the variations for how you can use this. But game day for nachos, got you, fam. For mac and cheesy, all day, every day. You want to do a special Hatch chili mac and cheese? This will do it. You want to do any variation of mac and cheese. So just yes. It's a yes, cool. Abby.
It's a yes.
This recipe is going to be foolproof. And it's really just a technique, which I'm a big believer in because, I'm not a big recipe follower. I don't love it.
But if you know the technique, then you don't really have to have a recipe.
The technique will get you very, very far. And really, it's a technique, but it involves just a single ingredient, and that is this magic powder called sodium citrate.
Where did you find that?
I got this on Amazon, and this is a lot. I got a pound of sodium citrate, and I know for sure, I want to say it was $7.
Okay. That's not bad.
But it could have been 10, but this is enough sodium citrate for your whole neighborhood,
Sick.
you know, for a while. And I'm sure they have it in smaller containers, but this is the one that made the most sense. So, you can buy it, keep it in the bag. You can use it for other things. But essentially, this is the ingredient that makes American cheese so different from other cheeses. You know how it has that
like silkiness.
Silkiness. Some would say like a plasticky.
Sure. Some would say that.
If you overdo it, sure, that could happen. But what it's going to give us, and anybody who's made a baked mac and cheese before knows that one of the most difficult things to overcome is that cheese sauce breaking in the oven.
Yep.
Because you have this beautiful cheese sauce on the stove, and then you get the noodles in there, and you get it in the oven, and it all gets so hot, and it all breaks, and everything goes to heck. And that happens when you use regular all-purpose flour, and even worse when using gluten-free flours. I have tried to make mac and cheese gluten-free before, and I've used I've used the 1-to-1 AP, which is usually a rice blend. I happen to be super duper sensitive to lentils, and there's lots of brands that use lentil flour, and I can't do that. So, this technique uses no flour at all. So even if gluten was not an issue for you at all, you could still use the same sauce. Instead of trying to find a replacement for a roux-based mac and cheese sauce, which is what I normally do. Same. And I experience some breakage.
Yeah,
sometimes it happens. Like you put your best laid plans forward, you make this incredible sauce, it's perfectly seasoned, you get it in the oven, you get the heat jacked up, it starts bubbling, and it completely breaks, and it doesn't matter. Like, it happens.
Yeah. It still tastes delicious.
It still tastes good.
Not as smooth and creamy.
It just isn't as smooth and creamy. But with this technique, which you're going to see is so simple.
Cool. Can't wait.
It's very easy to do.
Firewack, hi. Welcome.
Hello.
We're making mac and cheese.
It's Cheese Week.
Cheese Week.
We're kicking off Cheese Week with mac and cheese, and we're going to create a recipe here tonight that we will post after tonight's live stream.
Oh, thank you so much. We worked hard on them.
That will be yeah. We're big fans of melon too. Yeah. You're gonna love this one. It's gonna be so easy.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start out with sodium citrate, and the technique is so foolproof.
God bless them. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for the blessings.
The recipe is super foolproof. And
right. Broken cheese, neighbor. You're right. You can't have that. So we're gonna make it so that it never happens again.
Well, I suppose it could happen, but this mac and cheese should get you invited to the cookout.
Sweet.
Yeah, it should be good.
That's what we want.
We also are going to demonstrate it with just kind of run-of-the-mill grocery store grade cheese, right? Because we're just doing a demonstration. You could go Hollywood on your
fancy
cheese.
That cheese.
Yeah. So specifically, because what sodium citrate does is help cheese to melt smoothly and not break, which means the fats separating from the protein, separating from the whey, and then you have that crumbly, what almost looks like cottage cheese texture. Gross. Yeah. If we're not going to put cottage cheese in our mac and cheese, we definitely don't want cottage cheese. Exactly. Yeah. So we are going to use our pre-shredded cheese. The problem with pre-shredded cheese, and a lot of chefs will be like, don't use it. Absolutely correct. Yeah, don't. Because you're already using a thickener, and pre-shredded cheese is typically tossed in a little bit of a cornstarch solution, and that cornstarch solution will throw off your roux. But guess who's not making a roux today? We aren't. So that little bit of cornstarch is not going to hurt anything.
I have also seen, I don't know if you've ever tested this, but I have seen people rinse their shredded cheese to get all the cornstarch off.
Sure. Yeah. If you wanted to, you could. You will find, I find with like some brands have a great deal of it, and I will stay away from those brands. I don't particularly like them. The one that we're going to use today is a local brand that is pretty good. The cheese is of decent quality, and this mac and cheese is going to be terrific. And I'm going to show you a couple tricks to make even cheap, kind of like middle of the road quality grocery store cheese taste a little bit better, because the reality is not everybody has access to perfect Gruyere and Fontina. And even today when we went to go look at it, even a tiny little
Oh my gosh.
third of a pound of Gruyere was the cheapest one we could find was $9. We just kind of, you get outpriced. So sometimes that's not what you want.
Right.
Sometimes you want a good cheddary, stringy, pulley mac and cheese, and so that's what we're doing today.
Sharp cheddar.
Sharp cheddar.
Excited.
That's what I love.
Yeah, I love that, like the tang in the back when you bite into it, because it cuts the like. Yeah, it's gonna be super cheesy and rich, but then you have that little back there to keep you. Right. So you can go in for another bite.
It's very exciting. Yeah. What do you think? Should we just get started?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have some water going behind us, so we do have this new camera, so we're going to be able to show you things as we go, but in large part, this is pretty simple, so we'll go over the basics. Yeah. The technique of sodium citrate, and you don't need to write this down because we will post it, but the sodium citrate ratio is 3% by volume of the recipe. And if that sounds too difficult, you can ask Siri. Yeah. Which is what I did.
Do a quick Google for a pounds or pounds to grams calculator, and you can figure out.
It's easy to figure out. It's easy to figure out. And then I've seen a lot of recipes though where they'll just call for like 2 teaspoons. What's going to happen if you put too much sodium citrate in there? Very little. Okay. Not a lot. Cool. But just keep in mind that we're talking about 3% by volume of weight, which we'll include. And we will include the measurement for what this recipe is. Yes. So at the very least, you'll have this one down.
Does sodium citrate have any flavor to it?
It's salty.
A little salty.
And a little tangy because it is a salt. Yeah. It's a salt that's found naturally in citrus. Okay. Cool. It's derived from citrus, but it is essentially a salt. It's a combination of this citric sodium and citric acid. Okay. So it's going to have a little bit of salt and it's going to have a little bit of tang. Yeah. Cool. I guess if you were celiac, you would want to be sure sodium citrate is inherently gluten-free by itself. This particular package says that it is packed in a facility that packs with peanuts and blah, blah, blah. Just read your labels. Yep. If you have a sensitivity to that, find one that doesn't. Yeah. Let's stop rinsing foods that don't need it. Amen! Amen. Yeah. Amen. I can't tell you how many reels I've seen where they are not just washing chicken, but then they'll take the chicken and like scrub it down with a lemon. Girl, bye. What? No. What are you doing? Why? Who has time for this?
Also, you understand you're putting it into an oven?
Well, right. And
like that's gonna... kill it all.
Amen to that, because it is absurd.
That's crazy.
Absurd. No need to do that. No. We're not rinsing our cheese either, because just the notion of wet cheese.
I know. I've seen it, so
I hate it.
Crazy.
Let's get started.
Let's get started.
I'm going to start heating some milk. We have water coming to a boil right back here, but we've got time on that. Today we're going to be using this brand of gluten-free pasta, which I have read some reviews, and this is highly, highly rated by chefs, particularly. So I got lucky. I got this one at the co-op by my house. It just so happens that this is one that's preferred by many, many, many people. This one is 100% organic. This one is certified kosher. This one is non-GMO. But most importantly, and what got me excited, not mushy. Good texture. Yeah. Sold. Yeah. Yeah. I love that. I love that for us. So this is the one we're going to use today, but this same recipe, you could use whatever pasta you want. My preference is a large elbow. I don't like the small elbows like when you get in Kraft mac and cheese. I like the large ones. They're available everywhere. This one is kind of a large elbow. Not only is it a large elbow, but it's a rigate. Do you see how there's ridges on there? The ridges are going to help us out a lot in a mac and cheese because they're going to help hold the sauce a little bit tighter and a little bit thicker. There's nothing worse than when you have a mac and cheese and it's like 2 separate things. Yeah, gross.
You're eating cheese with macaroni noodles.
Gross. Yeah. So we'll be salting the water again. We're just going to use cheap grocery store salt. So when the time comes, we'll do that. In the meantime, to start our cheese sauce, milk, which I already got here. Again, we're going to post a recipe later, but I'm going to assume that for 1.5 pounds of cheese, that 2 cups of milk is going to get it done for us.
2 cups of milk. 2
cups of milk, which also happens to be, by volume, the same amount as the cheese, which makes my sodium citrate measurement pretty good.
That works out very nicely.
Right. So we're starting with 2 cups.
It disappeared.
2 cups of milk. I'm going to bring it to a simmer. on the stove. I'm going to add the sodium citrate. We're going to have Abby, will you turn on our little action cam? Yes.
Uh-oh. Yeah, we're good.
So we're going to get so good at this. Sodium citrate. I'm not going to use a measuring spoon. I'm going to use a scale because I have a kitchen scale. If you don't have a kitchen scale, there's a conversion online. You'll find it. Yeah. We believe in you. Yeah. You're so smart. But we asked Siri earlier, and Siri informed us that 3% of 2 pounds of cheese is 27 grams. I believe her.
For sure.
She has no reason to lie to me.
No.
Google, on the other hand,
lies.
Lots of lies. I don't like cooking with grams. What does Ian think about it?
Okay, so we just had this conversation last night because, like he was saying, he can eyeball what a half cup is. Mm-hmm. He can eyeball that kind of stuff. But I think that's only because those are the measurements that he's used to and has been using. If he's been using grams, and there's regularly like 80 grams is a regular measurement for people who measure in metric, then you would also be able to eyeball it.
Right.
But overall, not a fan. Now,
no, I'm not either. It's difficult for me.
Baking, measurement is,
by volume.
By volume. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I will, I'll weigh stuff for a couple reasons. One, it is more accurate, and because baking is more of a science, needing to like have everything the correct amounts, it's helpful. And also, if I measure something, I can just put a bowl on a scale and pop my flour in, measure, done. Pop my sugar in. I don't have to find all the right measuring cups, which, you know, those are the artifacts that we used during our last cooking stream.
I'm going to be honest with you. This seems like a lot.
It does seem like a lot.
But it's 3%.
Let's do it.
It's 3% by weight of what we're putting in that pot, so we're going to trust it.
Yeah.
What could go wrong?
Worst case is it's a little tart. It's a little salty.
Yeah, let's take a little.
Add a little sugar.
Let's have a taste. Yeah, it tastes like tangy salt. Mildly tangy salt.
Yeah. Yeah, that's like nothing.
It's not even that salty. So it's not going to throw off much in your recipe at all. Whereas, as I was reading, one of the best flours that people recommended for like gravies and sauces, which mac and cheese is a bechamel, right? Which is a sauce. Highly recommended to use sweet rice flour, which is mochi flour, right? Delicious. It's fine in the grind. It's going to give you a very smooth, creamy texture. But you know what else it's going to do is make things a little bit sweet.
True.
And we know from last night, I don't like sweet cheese. Yost.
Oh.
You and your salted caramel American cheese. Absolutely disgusting.
Oh, hello, Jay.
Hi.
Welcome. We're making mac and cheese. Two cheesy gals.
Yeah.
Celebrating Cheese Week.
Nobody knows cheesy like we do.
It's true.
So, we're going to add the sodium citrate. Boom, right to the milk. No turning back now. All we're going to do is bring this to a... We're going to let it come to a boil, but as you hopefully know, you can't just boil milk willy-nilly. You have to keep an eye on it. You will remodel your entire kitchen trying to boil milk.
Yeah.
Hi. I'm so happy you're here. So this is so easy. You can see that you could do this on a weeknight very easily. Throw in a protein. We're going to serve it tonight with just a little bit of a side salad because cheese has protein. So, easy weeknight dinner. This is going to be so easy and so fast. Yeah. And I hate to say this, but I happen to know from being in the restaurant, you can make this cheese sauce and keep it on hand all the time. So you could have nacho cheese or cheese sauce or whatever available because you can reheat it very well. It reheats fantastic, cools back down, reheats, cools back down, and it's going to stay creamy and dreamy.
Yeah.
Sodium citrate, it's funny because people are intimidated by it and think that it's some kind of molecular gastronomy, but in reality, like I said earlier, that's what makes American cheese and Velveeta cheese.
Yeah.
So if you make a mac and cheese and you put Velveeta in it, or you put American cheese in it, you're already using sodium citrate. You just didn't know it. But if you want to make a mac and cheese without having to use American cheese, which I personally love American cheese. Oh, God. On a burger, get out of here. It's so good.
It's so good.
on just a regular American cheeseburger, it's American cheese for me. If we're gonna do some kind of, you want to do some kind of mushroom burger?
Yeah, give me some Swiss.
Give me some Havarti. That sounds great. But on a regular bacon cheeseburger,
I can't tell you how often I eat grilled cheese or grilled ham and cheese, because ham and American cheese,
dream.
they're a dream.
Look, you're doing sign language in our multicam. You can put that away now if you want to.
But yes, it's a hello,
Love this.
Shell.
Hi.
Yeah, I love American cheese. In my scrambled eggs, I like American cheese because it makes them all creamy.
Okay, let me ask you a question though. One of my favorite accounts on Instagram, and they're not very active, and it's such a shame because they used to be. And oh my God, Abby, there's an account called Cookin' for Bay. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
Oh my God. If you're watching right now, you should go on Instagram and look up Cookin' for Bay, because it's pictures mined from the internet of plates of food that are so horrifying.
Okay, yes. Okay.
And the number one thing that the account posts is the struggle slice, which is where you have like a dish of food, like let's say it's a casserole or it's just something, but the little square of cheese just melted on top. Get out of here.
I'm very anti that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am not
No.
As a chef, people are sometimes intimidated to feed me. Make me your mom's tuna noodle casserole. I will eat what your slime gully, whatever nonsense
That's not what it's called.
I don't remember what it's called.
Slumgullion.
Slumgullion. I think slime gully's better. Sure. Frankly.
Slime gully.
I'll try it.
Yeah.
But please don't. Just melt a
Just
slice.
put one slice of American cheese on
Don't
things.
do that. If you're unless you really like it.
No.
And that just eat it at home alone.
No, but a couple of eggs, American cheese melted, scramble them up. It's delicious.
So tell me about your perfect grilled cheese. Since it is cheese week, like tell me about what bread do you like? You like American and ham. But do you have any grilled cheese like secrets?
No, I've tried I know that some people put mayo on the outside of their bread to grill. Yeah. I've tried it. I don't think it's better than butter. I think butter is the best. I love butter. So, butter. We usually do a sourdough bread, and then American cheese, some thin sliced ham. Yeah. Boom, boop, boop. Yeah. Perfect.
I'm not necessarily a huge lover of Dijon, are you? I like it. I think it gets overdone. Yeah. And it's a flavor that to me, kind of Dijon mustard, kind of similar to ketchup. If you put Dijon mustard in something, it just tastes like that. Yeah. Like ketchup.
I don't need it all the time. Like, I think in the things it belongs in. Yeah. Yes.
But I will say this, a little thin, I mean the thinnest of smears of Dijon inside of a grilled cheese is really nice. Yeah, that does sound nice. But I do agree, it kind of has to be a hearty, like a grilled cheese sandwich made out of white Wonder Bread is just, it's like, the French toast when people make it out of sandwich bread? Get out of here. I'd rather eat dog food.
I legitimately thought that I just didn't like French toast because I was like, why? It just tastes like scrambled eggs with maple syrup on it. That's
disgusting.
No, thank you. But then I found that it's because I think that's bad. I don't think it's very good that way. But get French toast in a fancy way.
Yeah. Like actual French toast. Yeah. French toast, which is called pain perdu. Mm-hmm. Delicious. Yeah. But cheese, grilled cheese. I agree. It has to be. Now I like to mess around with cheeses. Same. And I do like the mayonnaise trick. Because a lot of butter, if you think about it like this, mayonnaise, 100% fat. 100%. Yeah. A little bit of protein, but it's mostly fat. Yeah. Butter is only about 30% fat. So you're going to get a little bit more sog out of butter, which is why it works great if it's a sturdy, kind of a crusty bread. Yeah. But if it's a soft crumb, a fine crumb bread, like a Pullman or a white loaf or a wheat or a brioche or something, well, brioche butter is going to work just great. No problems there. But you're going to get more sog. Yeah. And so bread has to be thicker if you're going to be using butter, right? I mean, butter's still great. It always works. Don't get me wrong. But mayonnaise has its place. Yeah. Especially if you're doing like a thinner, or if you have more cheese to melt, because you're going to be able to get the bread hotter. Yeah, that's true. With the mayonnaise than you will with butter. So butter's great, but mayonnaise is a good trick if you're trying to do like a big thick bad boy on Texas toast or something. Give it a little mayo. Unless you're a mayonnaise hater, which a lot of people are.
I'm not. I do like mayo, but we've tested it, and I like butter better on my grilled cheese. I did just have grilled cheese this week, which was made with a nice seedy multigrain that I usually reserve for hummus and peanut butter and jellies. But
I love peanut butter and jelly.
Same.
It's not peanut butter and jelly week though. So.
No, we'll do that a different week. We had grilled cheese on grainy bread, and wow.
Goat cheese does make everything better.
That's true.
Mayonnaise on the outside of a grilled cheese she's right. It is delicious. It is delicious, but butter has its place too. You know what you could also do? Mayo on the outside, butter on the inside.
That's true. That would be bomb. I will say that we in my household, we might push what a grilled cheese is because we're adding sauces and meats and toppings to everything. One of my favorites is turkey, Swiss.
I hate turkey.
Pesto.
I'm with you. It's fine.
Pesto.
Oh yeah.
Swiss, turkey, mayo.
People are passionate about grilled cheeses, and a good grilled cheese does feel like comfort food.
For sure.
It's not just a snack or a quick. It's like comfort.
Yeah.
A grilled cheese and good tomato soup, and aside from homemade, the roasted red pepper tomato soup from Trader Joe's.
Yeah, that one's good.
Bathe me in it. I love it. A little bit of butter and pepper.
I don't like tomato soup. I don't like tomatoes in general.
That's right.
I can eat some tomatoes. I'm pretty, I don't like a weird, gross, pink, mushy tomato.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
I don't like ketchup. It took me a lot of years to even eat marinara.
Okay, let's get our multicam going.
Ooh, okay.
Jay, wait till you see this.
Look at us. Look how fancy.
Nobody noticed. This is my my goon with the spoon, Earl Stevens, the deaf chef. He's not the deaf chef. He's the goon with the spoon.
Nice. All right.
Okay, we have scalded milk. This milk contains 27 grams of sodium citrate. As I stated, tonight we are going to use kind of just everyday, what would we call this? Domestic cheese. Just wildly available.
Grocery store cheese. You're not going to have to go and find these cheeses at a specialty shop. No. You're going to be able to find them at any grocery store.
But once you get this technique down, you can be fearless in buying expensive cheese and know that it's going to work.
Yeah. And fancy that mac and cheese up.
But we wanted to just have classic mac today. So, again, you can use any cheese you want. There are cheeses that are going to work really well. Those cheeses that, and I have a certain, in my mind, you need a cheese for flavor. You need a cheese for texture. So right off the bat, I'm going to go with a sharp cheddar. This is just Lucerne. It's like a local dairy brand. It's widely available, pretty affordable, but good quality. It's good cheese. I'm using a super fine shred because it's going to melt in there really nicely. Now, this is scalding hot. This milk is just milk and sodium citrate. It's very, very hot. We're going to add the cheese about a quarter to a cup at a time. I mean, a half to a cup at a time, right? Add the cheese, whisk it in. If this starts to get too cool, we can take it back to the burner because this is really forgiving. Again, the sodium citrate method, you can heat up over and over. You can hold it hot for a good long time. So again, it's going to be a great recipe for if you're making a dip for like a game day and you want to put this in a crock pot and you don't need Velveeta. You can do a fancier, or if you want to do like a kind of a fondue without having to add wine, and you can even add some wine, but this is going to help that fondue stay really melty and beautiful and smooth, not break and not get greasy, which is oftentimes what happens. You were telling me about your family mac and cheese recipe.
Yes. It is all sharp cheddar, and it's delicious. Sharp cheddar and onion, and you make a roux and all that good stuff. Delicious. But sometimes it does break. Yeah. And I never thought of anything. It just sometimes it breaks and that happens.
Right.
But I'm going to test out my family recipe with this sodium citrate.
Yeah, you could just use every other ingredient exactly the same, but forego the roux.
Okay.
And instead do the sodium citrate.
Okay.
And you would just add the sodium citrate to the hot milk instead of adding the hot milk to the roux.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's true for anyone.
Cool.
If you have a recipe that you already like and the seasonings are great and you're happy with it, continue to use it, but you can still swap this method out. So we're using, again, cheddar, and then, so this is our cheese for flavor, and I may have gone too heavy with the 2 cups of milk, but that's okay because we got a boatload of cheese, and like I said, we can keep this in the fridge. And then the cheese for texture, You want a Monterey Jack. You want a mozzarella, a fontina.
Something that's gonna like...
Something that stretches and gives you... You know what I mean? But Nikki, like you were saying, easily goat cheese would be delicious in here.
Phenomenal.
It's not going to give you that stretchy pulley because it's a fresh cheese, so it doesn't have the same proteins in it. But for flavor, definitely. Yeah. Definitely. Or you could use this same method to make a goat cheese sauce because goat cheese is kind of crumbly and whatnot. Yeah. You could use the same method to make a sauce. Give me another one of the sharp cheddar. So you can see this is already starting to look like cheese sauce, but what you'll notice, oh yes, can you see that? Here, I'm going to scooch over a little bit so that you can see it over here. Oh, I put myself behind. I'll get the hang of this. I know you see it. Oh, in the drawer, the cheese drawer.
Cheese drawer. Extra sharp.
Yeah. This is definitely, watch, Abby. I'm trying to show it in the camera, but there we go.
Wow,
hey!
Wow, that's good. That looks good.
Right? You see it. I know you see it. Okay. That's something that the roux is just, it's harder to get.
Yeah.
Unless you go with $400 worth of fontina in there. Yeah. And until this live stream really pops off.
Yeah. Someday.
We ain't got 400 pounds of fontina money.
No.
We have sharp cheddar money.
We didn't have 4 ounce fontina money.
We don't have Gruyere money.
$8.
Yeah.
We spent $1.47 on each of those little packs. So that's our budge.
That's the budge.
That's the budge.
Okay, I think that's gonna really get us where we want to be.
Oh wow, wow, wow,
so,
wow, wow, wow.
We have added cheese and milk to this. So what we have right now is just an unseasoned cheese sauce. So the directions that we could go from here would be to add a can of Rotel.
Ooh, yeah, for a little dip.
And now you have a dip or a nacho cheese.
Yeah.
You could spice this up with a little and some cumin and make a delicious, just simple nacho cheese.
Add a little chorizo in there.
Do you want to add some salt to that water? Up a good palmful. Yeah. And then just get our noodles in there. You'll find a little utensil over there. You can get that going. Okay, I'm hoping that you can see this. Look at this. It's clumped a little bit, but that's not, it's because the cheese isn't melted. It's not because it's broken. So we may have to get it back on the burner. You know, one thing we could invest in is a little burner. And then we wouldn't have to go back and forth to the stove.
You know what's so funny is that every time I watch videos of people streaming, they'll be streaming in the, or just, what's it called? YouTube videos. They'll be in these beautiful kitchens. Yeah. And then they're on a hot plate, and I'm like, what are you doing? But I think it's this.
Camera angle. Right. So if you love us so much and you're having such a great time and you want to get us an induction burner.
Yeah.
Until then, you get what you get.
Yeah, just that, baby.
This is really coming together nice, but I do think we're going to have to put it back on the heat just a touch. So I'm coming over there to join you, Abby.
All right.
I am going to turn it down just a tiny bit because I don't want it to scald on the bottom. And now that we have so much dairy and protein in here, it will. This will scald. So you're going to want to keep an eye on it. Imagine from here. Okay.
Yeah.
You could add the... if you wanted to make beer cheese, you could have started out with beer, right? Yeah. If you wanted to make fondue, instead of milk, you could have started out with wine, right?
Ooh, Nikki, that's a great point. Next thrift goal, find a hot plate.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I see them all the time, but if you can't control, we'll just have to keep an eye out. Yeah. If you can't control the temperature on it, I need to be honest with you. Keep the lid off. I'm at a complete and utter deficit on an electric stove. This is so hard for me, and in fact, the first 2 years that I lived in this condo, I didn't cook here at all. I used the air fryer or the oven because an electric stove, I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people cook meals for their whole family. You can't control the heat. It only gets hotter and hotter and hotter, and it is as hot as it wants to be, and that you would just have to learn. Yeah. The dial is completely erroneous. I don't even know why it's there. An electric stove is so hard. A gas stove that people are so intimidated by, so much easier. Oh my God. Yeah, I don't know how people do it. So we could add from here. If we wanted cheese, we start with beer. Fondue, we start with wine. If right now we wanted to take it in a queso direction, we could add diced green chilies. And then season it that way with a little cumin and garlic and make a really nice kind of Southwest Blanco queso, whatever, right? Yeah. We could have used some Oaxaca and some Mexican cheeses and like a queso kind of thing there. Adding a can of Rotel, adding a bunch of Parmesan and Italian sausage and using this in a lasagna or
that sounds delicious.
Right. So once you have the technique, you can do whatever you want with it, right? We'll keep an eye on those. Here's a... But you can see, Abby, that I'm going to get this melted and then I'll take it back over to the camera. Just one more time, how impressed are we with Abby's cam?
Woo.
I'm so proud of you, Abby.
Thank you.
Look at that, still going. We could be doing anything here. This is fantastic. It's revolutionary.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited. We did it.
We did it.
We did it.
And it actually only took a week.
It only took a week.
That's not bad.
No.
We got it figured out.
We did it.
These, I don't know exactly the cooking time, so we're just going to keep an eye on these.
They're still pretty crunch.
Still pretty.
Still pretty crunch.
Oh my gosh,
It says 14 to 15
this
minutes.
sauce is looking
that was
so good.
pretty good.
So I'm going to get it back up to temperature. The thickness is absolutely perfect. So we know, I'm going to put this on record right now. 2 cups of whole milk, 27 grams of sodium citrate, and 2 pounds of cheese.
Woo.
Now, that might make us more than we have a pound of pasta for. But so far, so good. And what we have is a blank slate cheese sauce. Notice we haven't added any seasoning at all because we want to see how much seasoning we're going to get from the cheese.
Yeah.
Right? So we'll taste it now. I'm going to get it up to temperature. Once it starts to bubble, I'm going to bring it back over here, and then we're going to add some seasonings. These are just my personal tips and tricks. This is how I see macaroni and cheese. You do whatever you do.
Yeah. Nikki says this is our best episode yet.
Yes! Nikki, we love you.
And she's seen them all.
That is true, actually. No one knows better than you. Well, and our renowned wolf friend.
Yes.
We're so appreciative of you, honestly. I know we say that every single time, but it's not just fun and games. It would be so hard for us to be so brave and do this if no one was watching.
Yeah.
So the fact that you're here every time is so important to us, and I hope that we get the chance to thank you and to spend time with you and hang out when we become rich and famous.
Yeah.
Which is obviously inevitable.
So it's going to happen so fast.
So fast! I can't wait. All right, how's the pasta coming, Abby?
It's still hard.
Well, guess what isn't?
That cheese.
Let's take a look at this. You guys, this is going to knock your socks off. This is so good. While the thing's not there,
Here.
do you see this? I wish you could see how creamy and dreamy we have it. Perfect.
Wow.
So this is unseasoned. I wish you
Just
could tell
cheese.
how stretchy.
Yeah. It looks great here.
It's really good. So let's give it a taste, Abby. It's unseasoned at this time.
Okay.
But let's give her a whirl. Oh my God.
Is it so good?
It tastes like American cheese.
Shut up. We made American cheese.
It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. Okay, I'm bringing over my seasonings.
Ooh.
Right?
Ooh. Oh, that's yum.
It's delicious.
Also, yeah, depending on the cheeses that you use, if you would have used pepper jack, we would have a little bit of spice in there.
I love pepper jack in a. As I stated, Monterey Jack is an acceptable pulling cheese. Delicious. Monterey Jack. Mozzarella, like I said, Fontina, Gruyere, Comte. Is that how you say it? Comte?
Comte.
Okay. Since you're such a cheese-nado. God, Abby. This is glorious.
I love cheese.
Okay. Secret weapons that are mine. Everybody's got them.
Maybe another minute.
We won't. Another tip I have for you. Yeah, a minute or a couple. A lot of recipes will tell you to undercook your pasta for mac and cheese. If you read 10 recipes, 8 of them will tell you to undercook your pasta. I completely disagree. I think especially if you're using a roux to make your mac and cheese sauce, think about, okay, you take a noodle, you don't cook it all the way. When a noodle is cooked, it means it's taken on a lot of liquid that's made it tender. So it's absorbed liquid, right? If you pull it out before it's absorbed the appropriate amount of liquid, it's going to find that liquid somewhere. And it's going to be in your cheese sauce, and that's going to make it break. So the best thing to do is to cook it fully, or actually what I like to do is cook it just barely too far. Like once the noodles are perfect, another minute, 2 minutes, then drain it. Because now, if anything, it's going to be giving off moisture, which is going to create a completely homogeneous mac and cheese. And that's when you get the real scoopable, pulley one that's not broken and curdled looking.
Makes sense.
So you see our cheese sauce. I gave you a moment for shock and awe. I can hear your oohing and awing from here, and I wish you could taste this. It is really, really good. And it's hard to demonstrate the texture, but it is perfect. Okay, I have secret weapons when it comes to macaroni and cheese, and there's more than one way to go about it, skinning a cat, as it were. And I'm going to use these measuring spoons because I'm learning and growing. And I know that if we're going to write recipes, we have to measure things. And it's fine. I'm fine with it, Abby.
You're so brave.
I know. Do you remember we talked a little bit about... Oh, yeah. It's perfect. Okay. There's a colander right there on top of the stove. The green one. If you would like to get that just drained for me. On top of the fridge. You know I am a fairies, Abby. Goodness. In a bechamel. A French bechamel, which is the base for macaroni and cheese, normally. Right? We're doing a little modernist twist on ours. But in a traditional bechamel, there would be, we talked about this a little bit during last, our chicken cook.
Yeah.
There'll be a little bit of cayenne because that opens up your palate and it makes you taste things more. The cayenne pepper that French recipes call for in unexpected places, like cream sauces, tomato sauces, things where you wouldn't expect there to be cayenne because it's not an inherently spicy dish. The cayenne helps to open up your palate, makes you taste things a little bit more. Yeah. The same is true in a bechamel. There will often be an acid. Acid is added to open up your palate as well. And it makes, when you take cheese, which is nice and acidic and gets you right here, and you put it in milk, you lose that, right?
Yeah.
So for mac and cheese, you want to put some acidity back.
Checks out. Makes
right?
sense. Yeah.
You can do that with if you were to use, let's say you were making this same cheese sauce, but you were using really fancy cheeses and you wanted to keep this like high end.
Yeah.
Okay. You could use a little bit of red wine vinegar, white wine vinegar, but red wine, in my experience, is the best. Okay. Red wine vinegar makes cheese taste more like cheese when you add it because it hits you right here and opens that up where the dairy's kind of damping that down, opens it back up so you really taste the cheese.
Nice. Okay.
If you want it to be a truffle-y cheese, maybe cut back a little bit on the acid, but the acid it's the difference between this is good mac and cheese and holy shit, this is amazing mac and cheese. Yeah. That's the difference. Yeah. For me, I can make this because my style of cooking is inherently Southern, right? Yeah. So I can find the acid that I need and that spice that I need in one place, and it's in this little bottle because there's cayenne in here, right? Red hot. Look, I'm using both cameras. There's cayenne pepper in here, which is a French classic ingredient because I'm a French trained chef, obviously. And there's vinegar in here. So this is giving us the spice that's going to open up our palate. It's also giving us the tang that's going to get us right here.
Now, not specifically Frank's, but any
Louisiana.
Any vinegar-based hot sauce.
Any vinegar-based hot sauce. Okay. I'm going to start because I like to push things to the max. So I'm going to start with 2 tablespoons.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Write it down. If it's too
2
little,
tablespoons.
If you want to do less, do less. If you want to do more, pop off. That's great. We've already made the sauce. So the technique is down. From here on out, it's just you and your ancestors, baby. Yeah. You do whatever feels good to you. I don't have infinite pairs of these, so I got to stop throwing them in the sink. It's fine. I know that some people believe in a bechamel or a white sauce that you should only use white pepper. I like white pepper for certain things, but it kind of tastes a little bit like a fart.
I think, okay, so I agree. I know that I like things that white pepper is in, but white pepper on its own is not a flavor that I'm
It's almost sulfuric.
Yeah. But I will tell you that black pepper, I think, is the most underutilized spice.
I am team black pepper.
Me too.
It is fruity. It is complex. It has so much flavor. Yeah.
I crack black pepper on everything.
Yeah. Poivre, love. Green peppercorn, love. Pink pepper, love pepper. We love it. Yeah. Black pepper, a lot of people don't think it should be in a mac and cheese because then it puts black specks in the sauce. Hello. So? I'm a country cook.
Yeah.
We put black pepper in our mac and cheese. I think it makes it look more rustic and homey, and even the fragrance of black pepper. So I put a whole tablespoon in here because I don't mess around. I don't mess around. Again, if you want to, you know, do it a little different, do it a little different. I don't care. I am also going to do 1 teaspoon. I might do 2 teaspoons. We'll see how it goes.
Nikki, same. Nikki said that she's always adding pepper before salt.
Me too.
Same.
Yeah.
I never. There's a little bit of.
This is 1 teaspoon of ground mustard. If you use too much of this, you will hate your mac and cheese. But remember earlier when I said that sometimes they'll add acid to a classic bechamel, that will come in the form of mustard. It is an acid, but it's an acid with base. And it's just going to, it doesn't have that yellow mustard quality, but it's going to increase the tang of this sauce pretty exponentially. The other thing I think goes really great in mac and cheese is garlic. And I'm going to do a whole tablespoon of garlic powder. Again, I think it only just bumps up the umami, and I added a little extra, but we'll just call it 1 tablespoon. And then one last ingredient, which I really think we can afford to do here. Do you see how thick this is getting?
Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Good.
Put that on your chip. It's so good. Smoked paprika.
Ooh, yeah.
It's one of my secret ingredients.
Yeah,
I think that smoked paprika belongs in almost everything. I just had this, we just picked this one up, so it still has the little wrapper on it. You know I'm disabled, Abby.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
The other thing that you could add if you wanted to is a little bit of MSG. I promise we don't put MSG in every single thing. But in here, it works, and so we're going to use 1 teaspoon.
And so what if we did? Are you going to get mad at us? Should we change our name to...
But we already said you don't have to. MSG Queens.
MSG Queens!
I'm going to do 2 teaspoons smoked paprika. And I'm doing that for color and also a little bit of umami. Again, all of these things are just my personal touches, and your palate might be different. Your family recipe might be different. The recipe that you're going for might be different. But what we have here is a super seasoned, I know you can't tell because the camera's far away, but it's speckly and creamy and cheesy and
Shell, MSG is life.
Life! It's so delicious. So and this is getting so thick. I can't wait to see what happens with this in the oven. So let's taste one more time, Abby, because the thing we haven't added is salt.
But you know how I feel about salt.
I know. So we are going to go last, taste it with all of our seasonings. You can use your same spoon. It's only me and you, dude. I think it needs a little more salt.
Interesting.
But it has so much flavor, holy moly.
I'm so excited.
Wow. It really does.
Just taking my sweet time.
It's fine. It's a long show.
This is going to be perfect. Oh my God.
Yeah.
What?
I know.
That's so thick. Oh gosh, I might have taken too much.
Abby, do you see how much sauce is there? Yeah?
A little salt.
A little salt.
A little salt.
I'm going to go with... No, I'm actually not going to use this time. I'm not going to use my tried and true nature seasoning because we've already added enough additional flavor. So I'm going to go with just a regular kosher salt.
Wow.
And let's say kosher salt, I'm going to do a tablespoon. I think it can take it. What do you, because, yeah, it's already done.
Well,
she did it. Jazzy told me that I've been over-salting things lately, and it is true. I have over-salted a couple things. It happens.
Did you scream at her?
No. I punished her in other ways, though, so not to worry.
Yeah.
It's true. I've had a couple things go wrong lately. Is that yours? Here's mine. Let's see what that did. It's just us, Abby.
It's just us.
Wow! Now, okay, once you added the salt, now do you taste the smoked paprika?
Yes.
Yeah. And then it just keeps going. Bam, there's black pepper.
Yep.
It sounds like I'm making this up.
No,
but I am not.
It's
so
the salt
good.
really did just like bump up all the other flavor, make you taste all of the other little flavors. And then on my tongue right now, I have it's not a spice, but it's just this ever so slight tingle.
It's not hot.
It's not hot.
It's warm.
It's not spicy, but it just is giving a little, I'm
very proud of that.
Warm is
That's
perfect.
delicious.
Warm is perfect.
Okay, we wrote that down because that sauce is a winner.
Yeah.
All right. bit more sauce than I think we need as far as noodles go.
Okay.
And we are going to bake this mac and cheese because honestly, stovetop is not good enough. If you added the noodles to this and you like stovetop mac and cheese, find somebody to match your freak and grab some spoons and go after it. But I like a baked mac and cheese. I want to get that crispy, crunchy. And we have some more cheese, so. My dish is down here. We're going to grab that.
Oh, jabroni.
Hey!
If you could teleport, which actually Jen and I were talking about teleportation earlier today.
If I could choose a superpower, don't even need time to think about it. I know exactly what I pick.
So Jabroni says they would like to teleport to your kitchen and eat this.
It is so good. It is. I'm actually. I knew it was going to be good.
Yeah, but no, it's really good.
But it's really good.
Yeah.
Okay, we are going to add the noodles to that big pot, Abby.
These noodles, this big pot.
You got it.
I'm gonna go. We love you, Jabroni.
This way we can add the amount of sauce that we need, but not. Okay. These noodles promise not to be mushy, and I gotta tell you, they're not. I mean, you know, they broke up a tiny bit,
little
but
bit of a break, but
not nearly as much as gluten-free noodles.
They're not
normally
like one.
Right.
Yeah.
I wish Jabroni would be here and bring our beautiful gluten-free friend apricot Jenn.
Yes.
And llama corn. We could have a gluten-free
party
fest.
Yeah.
So I'm just going to add cheese to the noodles. And I think, again, I like a cheesy mac and cheesy.
Same.
I don't want it to be noodles with a little bit of sauce. I want it to be sauce held together with a little bit of noodle.
Yeah.
This is pretty good. The other thing to keep in mind is that these noodles are hollow. So we want to add enough cheese that as it gets hot and loosey-goosey in the oven and the cheese starts to go inside the noodle, that there's also still enough mac and cheesy on the outside. Yeah. This recipe, I kid you not, if you haven't already gone to Amazon and bought yourself some sodium citrate, if I haven't already sold you on it, this is going to dazzle your friends. Also, Velveeta, cannot we talk about this?
Yeah. So
expensive.
Yeah.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah, because it's like, it doesn't make any sense. It should be like...
For everything is expensive now.
Yes.
Everything is expensive now. And we're going to do a lot of food. We're going to really get into that. That's something, a philosophy that we both share is helping people do the most with their food budget. So we'll go over how to do dried beans. I'm going to show you guys how to use a pressure cooker. We're going to show you how to do things from scratch and how to use cheap ingredients and make it go a really long way. We'll get into that. But good goddamn. Wow. I think a thing of Velveeta is like $14.90 now. Oh, for like the thing of it like this. If it's not on sale, it's like $12.99 or depending on where you are. This is pretty well coated. I think I'm going to still add another scoop. Yeah. And then there's going to be a little bit of, actually, this recipe is almost clean. There's a tiny bit of sauce left, and you really, if you were using a not gluten-free noodle, I think you probably could use it all. Use the whole thing. I just don't want to over-push the boundaries of a pasta I'm not super familiar with. Sure. So we're going to save ourselves a little bit of cheese, and that'll go on our broccoli later. But let's say that we wanted to make a broccoli cheese soup. Yes. Using this exact same recipe. Yeah. We would take, let's set this to the side because I'm damn sure keeping this. Yeah. We would have used a little more milk, a little less cheese, gotten the same smooth consistency. I'm talking Panera level. Yeah. Broccoli cheese soup that will never break on you by using the same method. Yeah. And then just we could adjust it and do a little bit more milk, a little bit more cheese, and then once it was all done and seasoned, you just fold in your chopped frozen broccoli and wham bam ma'am. You are going to wow the people at the potluck. And it's soup season. It is soup season. Which is the only thing that makes it easier for me when the weather starts getting shit. Is that I can eat soup and just be in my home in my bathrobe like an old witch. Eating soup, being cranky. I wish you could. Well, you're about to see this. Abby, will you get me another sharp cheddar? Let's just send it. Ooh. We're gonna send it. God, this is gonna be insane. I'm so excited. If you are a person who prefers, this recipe is flawless.
This camera up so that they can see you spread that out.
Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Oh, mommy. Here, let's just
oh my God, it smells so good. Yeah, it smells really so good.
Oh, this isn't plugged in. I was going to say, let's light it up.
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. We're just going to sprinkle it with a little bit more cheese because it is cheese week. Is this a light, low-calorie mac and cheese? No. I would have made this with half and half if I didn't think I would get canceled. Because that's the kind of terrible shit that we do in the restaurant industry is we'll make our mac and cheese with some outrageous ingredient that you can't eat every day, and then you'll try to duplicate it and be like, why can't I do it?
Can I tell you that I have seen a few videos recently of people being like, this is why restaurant steaks taste so much better, and then they do a 20-minute video saying how the restaurant rests your steak for this amount of time and does this and marinates it for this.
No, we don't.
They sure don't. They sure do not.
No.
A kitchen is a fast-moving place. There's no
maybe a super high, yeah.
But otherwise, it's not
butter.
precious. It's like you're just moving.
Yeah.
Why restaurant food tastes better is one, someone else made it.
More butter.
There's more butter.
More salt.
There's more salt. There's
We
just
have
more seasonings and flavors because at a restaurant you only have to make the thing that is on your menu, so you can have everything on hand all the time because you're only making what's on your menu. It doesn't make sense for the home cook to have all these very specific things.
Abby, I love this camera.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I love it.
It's pretty good.
We're going in the oven.
Boop, 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 boop. And because our pasta's already cooked and the cheese sauce is already
All we gotta do
warm and melty
is brown it up, baby.
Yeah.
So we're gonna serve this tonight for our little supper with just a salad with a vinaigrette. We thought about doing something a little bit heavier, but we just got done making biscuits and mac and cheese, and we gotta fit into our winter clothes. So, we're just gonna do a simple vinaigrette. My favorite vinaigrette, my go-to vinaigrette that I make at home, contains soy sauce.
But
we're gonna try it tonight with tamari.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get the blender out. That is too noisy. We're just gonna try it in a good old-fashioned bowl with a good old-fashioned. Can you rinse that wig off for me?
yeah.
Pretty please. And actually, you know what I think? Something that I think just about any chef will tell you is it's a good idea to repeat flavors, right?
Yes.
From one dish to the next, it is a good idea. So because we used a little bit of smoked paprika in the mac and cheese, and you can really taste it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not overwhelming at all, but it gives you, we only used, grocery store grade cheddar and mozzarella, but that little bit of smoked paprika, doesn't it taste like we used some really nice smoked Gouda or smoked provolone?
We even looked at the smoked Gouda today and said, we're probably not going to be able to taste it, but that smoked paprika
it really does the trick.
Really does it.
And we can't discount the magic of the MSG, dude.
True.
Because it really amplifies things.
How much MSG did you put in there?
1 teaspoon. 1 teaspoon. No.
Did you put MSG in?
No, I didn't.
You didn't.
Never mind. Did you write it down? I guess we opted not to.
You
No,
said
I
you
did.
didn't.
I did a teaspoon.
Okay.
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, we can roll back the tape, but I'm pretty sure I did. This is a super simple vinaigrette. Let's try another vinegar. I'm going to use a little bit of lemon zest, but I don't necessarily want to use lemon juice. One that I really love to use is white balsamic.
Ooh.
I'm not sure I have any of that.
I didn't break it, I swear.
Break what?
Nothing.
Rice wine vinegar. You know what we're going to use? Another favorite ingredient of mine that I love to talk about.
ACV?
No, but I do love ACV. Boom. We're going to try this one. This is going to go really well with our mac and cheese.
Nice.
Because this vinegar, it's a Chinese vinegar. Isn't this Chinese? I'm pretty sure. it's Chinese. It's Taiwanese. At least this one was made in Taiwan. Black vinegar is... it's a secret ingredient in my opinion. It tastes like... Well, let's taste it. And you tell me what you think it tastes like. Have you had this before?
I don't think so.
It's a great vinaigrette, because it's going to knock your socks off, the amount of flavor that has.
Whoa.
What does it taste like? There's a popular condiment that tastes just like it to me.
Worcestershire.
A little bit. For me, it tastes like A1 steak sauce.
Okay.
Yeah.
It does taste a lot like Worcestershire, but a light. Like, it's not quite as salty.
I'm not crazy about Worcestershire. It has its place. There's things that I like it in.
Yeah.
So vinaigrette, super simple vinaigrette, a clove of garlic. I'm going to do 2 because I always, pretty much always add more garlic than I need to.
What else do you use black vinegar for?
I use it a lot in marinating. Again, because it has that, it's so balanced. It's got a little bit of sweetness.
Yep.
It's got a lot of umami.
It almost has a wine-like quality.
I always use it in, I'll add it to fried rice instead of just white or rice wine vinegar. But I use it a lot in dressings. But like marinades particularly, it goes great with beef. So if you were braising like some Asian short rib or whatever, a little bit of black vinegar will really open that up. Nice. So this is 2 cloves of garlic. I'm not going to use lemon juice, but I am going to give it some lemon zest. I don't particularly, I love a lemon vinaigrette, but when it's a lemon vinaigrette, I want pure lemon. I want lemon juice. I want lemon zest. Yep. I want a really light oil. And I want to just taste the lemon, you know? Yeah. This is going to be a little bit more complex, but the lemon zest is never unwelcomed, in my opinion. And this is you can do variations on this. But typically, soy sauce, this isn't an Asian vinaigrette. Not at all. Yeah. But the soy sauce just gives it, again, it's that thing where you're like, what? Yeah. And at the time that I got this recipe, I actually got it from someone else, and I can't remember who. I spent all day trying to remember who gave this to me. And it wasn't even this particular recipe, just the technique of using soy sauce. I don't remember. But it's been years, and I haven't looked. Yeah. Oh, I think we lost our camera for a second. So I have 2 cloves of garlic. I have the zest of maybe a lemon. Use as much or as little as you want. I'm going to do about a tablespoon of soy sauce. We need an emulsifier, so I have a coarse ground. I much prefer coarse ground mustards. Yeah. I like some texture in there. I think that makes the flavor a little bit more mild. This is just a store brand coarse ground Dijon.
How much did you put in?
About a tablespoon. Cool. Tablespoon of soy, tablespoon of that, and then I'm going to use, we'll call it like a quarter of a cup of, no, this is a third, so we'll call it like a quarter of a cup of the black vinegar. Because this is exactly right.
That stuff is wild. I am really curious about it. It just smells, it's so, tastes and smells similar. Yeah. But it is this like,
I'm not even going to measure the smoked paprika. I'm just going to do what's probably the equivalent of like a quarter teaspoon. Cool. Just for flavor. It's just for a little flavor. And I don't want any one particular flavor to stand out. I just want it to be super balanced. And it really is it's a good black pepper. We'll call it again a quarter of a teaspoon. You could also just put this in a bottle and shake it. It's not inherently Italian, so I'm gonna just use avocado oil because I want to really. Did we go offline? Nope. I want a really light, clean oil. So all I'm gonna do is whisk in my avocado oil in just a slow, steady stream until I get the consistency that I want, and that little bit of mustard will do that.
Sounds like the black vinegar would be good with beef and broccoli. Yeah, I think so.
Absolutely. Absolutely would. So use that to season it. A little bit of beef stock, a little black vinegar, maybe a little bit of sugar, brown sugar, like a tablespoon. Thicken that up with a little cornstarch. Perfect. Yeah. Perfect. Very perfect. And, I'm a big believer in getting bang for your buck. This bottle of black vinegar, I've never seen it cost more than like $3.99. And it's a big bottle. Yeah. And you could go and buy a bunch of singular ingredients that might give you a inherently Asian flavor, Chinese 5 spice, and this and this and this, and you could add all that together. But this is going to give it to you, like you said, really simple. Beef stock, a little bit of this, maybe some ginger, garlic. You don't have to buy a bunch of extra spices because this is going to bring it home. It's an incredible ingredient. Yeah. Another one, we'll use this in a different, but I do have a lot of tips and tricks. Another ingredient in the soy sauce family that I don't know that I'll be able to replace this one because it is definitely something you have to get at the Asian supermarket, is mushroom soy sauce. There's another one, and it is really thick. Okay. very, very umami. It is loaded with mushroom flavor, but it's just kind of a thick soy sauce. It makes things taste like they have been cooking all day.
Oh, okay.
So if you were making a quick stew in a pressure cooker,
you wanted it to taste like it's been there for days.
A little more oil. We're not going to need to add any sodium to this at all because of the soy sauce. Because you notice I didn't put any salt.
Yeah.
It's just a delicious this oil is just coming out so slow. That's why I'm like, that's okay. We have 2 hours. But this is going to be a perfect complement. Enough acid to kind of cut through the richness of the mac and cheese.
Yep.
But enough complex flavor that it feels like you got yourself a fancy little girl dinner. You know? And you can keep this in a bottle in the fridge. Come on. We got all day. It's coming together.
Cool. Should I take a little peek at this mac and cheese?
It won't be ready, but sure. You could have done, we could have done, have you ever had mac and cheese with potato chips on top? Crushed up potato chips? It's so good.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's so good. Yeah. I figured in the Midwest that would be like, well, you know, people would know all about that. No?
Maybe some people do.
Not so much. Okay, give that vinaigrette a taste. Oh, do you know what I ordered today on the internet?
What?
Smoked Malden salt. Isn't that nice?
That's delicious.
On greens with just a little bit of grated Parmesan and maybe a toasted nut and and boom.
Delicious. A little bit of acidity up front that gives you a punch in the face. But then it mellows out and it is so flavorful, but none of the flavors are jumping out.
Yeah.
I can't like pinpoint any of them specifically.
If it's too acidic, we could always add a little
No,
bit more oil.
I think it's great.
Let's see if a little bit of there we go. The avocado oil was just coming out so slow. But that's what happens when you buy all of their utensils at Goodwill. They do there we go. This is got melted right. Oh god, it's so good. Shit, that's good. It's so good. Wow. It's just got a huge flavor. Yeah. And I think that for me, vinaigrettes are so singular note, like so tenure, like it's just high pitched and that's a vinaigrette.
For sure.
They don't have any base in them. And I feel like the addition of the soy sauce doesn't make it taste Asian at all.
No.
It doesn't taste Asian at all.
No.
If you wanted it to, throw in some sesame oil. Yeah. Add a little coriander, you know.
Yeah, or like I think you mentioned ginger. Like that would be great.
Oh, ginger would be delicious in here. Even just as a ginger dressing, that would have been delicious. We could have done 1 clove of garlic and then a little bit of ginger instead.
No, it's definitely, it's not going to fatigue your palate. It's not like, I feel the same with vinaigrette, that a lot of times it just is lemon juice, or it's just vinegar, or it's just that like bright like tang.
I tell you,
isn't.
People who don't like balsamic vinegar, which I can be one of those people.
Yeah,
sometimes balsamic vinegar is too much. It's too sweet and too sticky, and again, it just is one note sometimes when it's like, you know, a nice aged one. It's good for some things, but this would be delicious to marinate. You know, when we make our fresh mozzarella on Friday, and you know those little marinated, like you take the cheese and some tomatoes and you marinate it for a little while. Imagine it in this, right? Yeah. Super useful. Also would be great just over a piece of poached fish. Yeah. Or chicken, because it has
this would be a good marinade for a chicken.
A great marinade.
Really, really good.
Yeah. It'd be a great marinade. Yeah. For chicken before it goes on the barbecue. Just like tons of flavor. Yeah. We'll post this recipe as well. Yeah. Did you get everything written down? I think so. You're incredible, Abby. Right. Bonita, count your days. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah. This dish is so simple. Yes. That, do you see, we're going to have dinner done inside of our hour and a half.
Yeah. Look at that. An hour and a half for dinner.
How long? Well, nobody wants to spend an hour and a half on dinner, but we've been yucking the whole time.
Oh, that's true.
Jaw-jacking.
You're hanging with us.
You're not reading me all the comments. I'm missing
out. Oh, see? Sounds like black vinegar would be good with beef and broccoli.
It actually would be delicious.
Yeah,
you can see how this would, a little bit of, and also you could, even as a sauce, add a little bit of brown sugar to this and take it in a whole different direction. But it's worth experimenting with. Yeah, it's really good. The soy sauce. It's a delicious recipe.
And it worked out just fine with the tamari.
Yeah, it did. Yeah. Actually, I didn't even notice. Yep. It tastes exactly the same. This is off subject because it's not about cheese week, but one thing that I have an absolute weakness for is, this isn't on subject. We're just killing time now because Because especially my friend Nikki knows that I'm gluten-free now. So I'm learning all kinds of new things.
Yep.
And look what I found. Gluten-free coffee cake.
You love coffee cake.
I do. I can't wait. I cannot wait to try this, and I'm going to make it, and I'm going to try it, and I will tell you why, or how I like it. But I can tell you the honest to God truth. If they keep putting things like this in a box of coffee, I'm never going to bake, Abby. Never.
You don't have to.
Why would I?
Krista is doing it for you.
And it has sugar, whole grain, and there's a few ingredients that I don't recognize, but for the most part, it's all pretty real stuff. So it's not that bad. It has 150 calories. But it says there's 15 servings in here. I give it 6.
Yeah, that's fine.
Maybe, but I can't wait to try this. I'll post a photo and a.
Yes, we have used this. Nikki says the
Crusties.
Sure.
That is how you say it.
Is it?
Tell me this isn't Crusties. Where are you?
It does look like Crusties.
It's Crusties. I can't get it in the camera, Abby.
That's not my fault.
No, you've done your part.
I've done my part.
You have. It's all on me now.
Crusties. We've had some of their stuff before. It's good.
Oh, it's outstanding.
Yeah.
It's almost the only brand that I have been aware of that restaurants use. In the mixes, like when you go to Restaurant Depot or Cash and Carry or whatever, it's big,
the big boxes.
Institutional packs of Crusties. They have like a lock on it.
Yeah.
But it's tremendous product. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
And great results almost every time. Almost every time. Not being a baker, I have a few tricks to make things like this taste homemade. I've told you my box cake trick.
I want to try it.
Have you never tried it?
I have not.
It's incredible.
No, but I am really curious. My mom recently told me she has a birthday cake that she has started getting that my grandma has made her in the last few years since I have not lived there. And it is a white cake with cream cheese frosting and shredded coconut on top, and it's bonkers delicious. Like way better than it has the right to be.
I love coconut cake though, so I would be with it.
Insane.
Yeah, I love coconut cake.
And so I bought a white cake mix because I was like, well, I gotta give it a shot. Yeah. And so I did it, and I haven't bought a cake mix in a long time. I usually just make cake from scratch.
Whatever, Abby.
But I was like, I don't know if I can beat this white cake.
Right.
It's so good.
So my trick is, since we have a moment, let's open the oven and have a peek. See, I can't wait for you guys to see this.
You guys can't see
Oh!
Let me move this. I don't know if they can see it.
They can't see it yet. Wow. Why is it? Is it too hot in here?
Oh my God, it smells incredible.
It really does. That stuff better not break in there and make me a liar.
No, it does not look like it's breaking.
No, it doesn't. But it's bubbling.
It is bubbling.
Wow. Wow.
So exciting. Can't wait.
This is exciting.
So what are your little tricks?
Oh, okay. So when you're making a box cake mix, this has nothing to do with cheesecake, but let's just digress for 1 second. When it says water, you replace that with half and half. And when it says vegetable oil or oil, you replace that with melted butter. And when it says eggs, like this one says 4 eggs, you will do 4 eggs plus 4 egg yolks.
Plus 4 yolks? Hot damn.
Yeah.
I'm going to do this.
It works every time. Every time. There's something about the butter versus, so the half and half instead of water just gives it more richness.
Yes.
And the water's only hydrating milk powder that's in here. Yeah. So using half and half is just taking it from probably 2% milk to whole milk. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's just giving it a little bit more richness. Yeah. The butter obviously has more flavor than an oil does, but it still has enough fat that it's going to keep it really moist. I also, I'm not going to lie to you, I will often replace it with butter and double it.
And it still bakes just fine.
Yeah, it might take a couple minutes longer, but it still bakes just fine. Okay. And it becomes pretty foolproof. Right. Because it has so much fat and so much moisture in it that it becomes just... Did you know, fun fact, when the cake mix was originally unleashed onto the world, as it were, it was during... I'm not good at dates, but it was during when there were many, many housewives. We'll just put it like that. Lots and lots of women at home. Cooking from scratch all the time. The cake mix came out, and all you had to do was add water. Women would not use it because they didn't feel like it was homemade enough. So I think it was Betty Crocker, or it could have been Duncan Hines, whoever the hell it was. You can Google it. I'm not claiming to have it all 100% because that's not how my brain works. They changed the formula so that you had to add an egg, whereas before it was powdered egg, and you had to add, like, they changed it
to make you
so
do
that
more work.
home baker, they felt like they were still closer to a scratch made cake, and then it's just stayed that way. But when it originally came out, it was all just add water.
Just add water. Huh, interesting.
Yeah. And people were like, no, I want it to be like a homemade cake. So come on, it's all ready. You can, and everybody know, you know, if you look at enough cake recipes, you can see how broad the range is. The ratios get played with a lot. So you know, messing with it just a tiny bit, it ain't gonna hurt nobody.
No, definitely not.
It ain't gonna hurt nobody. You know what I'm gonna do, Abby?
Are you popping the broiler on?
I'm gonna pop it up, and I'm gonna move it up, and I'm gonna. Oh God, this is insane.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna lose it when you see this is crazy. Because it's just going around the edges and we're not getting the top melty.
Yeah.
So we're gonna bump this. There's my butt. Abby, come back. Ow. It is so getting so brown and bubbly.
Oh
This is
God, it smells.
okay. We're just gonna kick this up a little bit, get the top browned. Put it on a little 425 for a few minutes. And then that'll be ready in just a few minutes. Let's get our
Salad.
We don't need to add any cheese to this salad, even though it's cheese week. Do we?
It is cheese week, but I don't think so.
In that cheese drawer, there is a little hunk of Parmesan.
Oh.
It's in a baggie. It might even be wrapped in a shower cap. It's right there in the corner. You see it?
Oh, right here.
I'm right behind you. We could have had this already, but what's the fun in that? Just some regular spring mix out of the pack. We've got the multi-cam is gone. Spring mix, organic.
Oh, can you bring it back?
You don't have to. All we're doing is dressing a salad.
Well, maybe they want to see.
A little bit of spring mix, Abby, just to make sure we get our veg. It is nice, I will say, when you're having a dish, we mind just setting that over to the side. When you're having a dish as rich for dinner as just a mac and cheese, it is nice to have something a little bit bright and acidic to kind of break it up. Do we look dark? No. Why does it look so dark in here? Do you know what? We've done this whole show without the lights on.
We're in the dark.
Abby!
Sorry. I wasn't in charge of that lighting.
That was Bonita's job.
Yeah, sorry.
Once again, Bonita, count your
Days
freaking
are
days.
numbered.
As soon as we can afford an actual producer,
Yeah.
useless. Useless.
She's just cracking up over there.
She's
too.
making, I know, making sure nobody steals that chair. Thanks so much.
Thank you so much.
God.
It'd be pretty easier to just throw her out.
Yeah, she's skin and bones.
Yeah. She's not even skin, mostly bones.
Mostly bones.
Mostly bones.
Almost entirely bones. Okay, we got a little bit of vinaigrette. Do you know what I do when I'm having a dinner party? And you know how you're just trying to get everything together?
Yeah.
And you don't want to have to leave a bunch of stuff till the last second.
Yeah.
I just put the vinaigrette in the bottom of the bowl.
Oh.
And then I don't worry about it getting all this drizzled. And then it can sit on the counter while I'm getting everything else together. And then I just toss it at the last second.
Smart. That's very smart.
A little toasted walnut would be delicious in here, but that's a different meal. That's when we're having quiche. So I'm just going to grate a little bit of Parmesan in here, and that's just to echo that it is cheese week, cheese week. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go to the cheese making store. That's going to be so fun. Let's get us a couple little dishes, Abby. How should we do this? Let's use these nice, posh,
Ooh, beautiful.
posh little...
Little salad.
I'm pretty excited. Well, we're going to want to put our mac and cheesy here to show them off. So we'll go like this. But we are ready.
All right.
All we need is for the broiler to finish, and it is dinner time. I'm very excited, Abby. Are you excited?
I'm so excited. I really can't wait to eat this mac and cheese.
I'm really excited too.
So
I'm actually
good.
straight up so hungry.
Yeah. I know, I was just having a little rumble where I was like, if I don't eat now, I'm going to pass out.
Well, that's the trouble when you know that you got a good dinner coming and you don't want to wreck it. Because when we were at the store, Abby and I did hood rat shit today, but just for funsies.
Yeah.
But we had a great time. Just friendship, only off the books.
Yeah.
My bangs are doing some interesting stuff.
We found some cool stuff.
We really did find some
Yeah.
cool stuff. I got a bunch of clothes I didn't need. Just a ton of clothes I didn't need. I'm so excited about them. And I got a seal a meal.
Yeah.
Like a vacuum.
Whoa,
a
that
vacuum
was
sealer.
a big one. As we were on our way, you said,
I want to get
a seal a
I
meal.
said I wanted to get a food saver.
Yes, but we found seal a meal.
But the one that we found, I already put it away. But it was only $13. And guess how much Abby found it for on the Amazons?
$87.
That's why we live like we're rich.
Yeah.
Did you get your pictures taken today of all your favorite thrifty things?
I did get some of them, yeah.
Me too. It was hard to choose, and we're still going to get them posted, but I picked things that I specifically got, and I know you did too, at Value Village or Goodwill or like a thrift hole. Nothing came from a like curated spot.
Like
you know, I have lots of cool stuff that I paid full price. Yeah. Or that I got off of Facebook Nani, whatever it's called. I only picked things that are totally thrifted, like out in the wild, just happened to get lucky. And we really are excited to get that posted, because then before we do our next thrift on Wednesday, you'll be able to see the kind of stuff we're looking for, so that when you're looking with us, Nikki, you'll get as excited as we do when we stumble upon something, because man, when we do find something that we both know. Today, what did you get, Abby?
Oh my god, I'm gonna get it.
Oh my god, you guys. The mac and cheese is almost done, I swear.
Where is it?
It's over there by your stovetop smoker that you also got today. It's sitting in the chair next to...
I'm so excited about this.
The smell from this mac and cheese is making me insane.
It's bonkers. Feed her.
Oh my god.
Okay, are you ready for this?
What?
Look at it. It's an ashtray, but it's shaped like a pipe. Get out of here.
Isn't that insane?
Isn't
Jay,
that the
do you
cutest
see
thing?
this? Is he still there?
Jay, are you here?
Baby, come back. That's why we hang out so much.
It's so cool. I love it. I'm so excited.
That is incredible. And it's a straight up ashtray. And how much was it, Abby?
It was $4.99.
That's amazing. Out in the wild. You could probably sell that on let's look it up, Abby.
I know, but I don't want to sell it. It's mine.
No, I know that. But doesn't
it has a fancy thing on it.
Let's have a look.
Norcrest, Japan. What if it's worth $1 million?
I mean, $1 million might be, but I've been in that predicament where I'm convinced that I've found it. It's called C-N-O-R, Crest.
Norcrest.
Pipe.
Ash.
Ash.
Guys, what if we find out that I'm $1 million?
We will stop this live stream right now.
Bye. I'm just kidding. I want to keep it.
Abby, it's right there.
How much is it? $1 million?
19.
I got it for $4.99.
That is a profit of 200%.
Yeah.
No, almost more than that.
But I'm
300.
not selling it. It's mine.
No, I know, Abby.
I love it.
But if you were to, you know, and
It's like a cute little look. We could put our little cigars.
Norcrest pipe-shaped ashtray on eBay for $19. And yours looks cooler than this one.
No, it does.
Yeah. Well, expert thrifters
I'm
here,
so
folks.
excited.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I love that. It's going to look great in your house.
I know, I can't wait.
I cannot wait for this GD mac and cheese to get done.
I know.
I don't think I've ever stood by the stove and waited for mac and cheese before.
And the smell is just...
It's so good.
torture.
I can't believe Jazzy hasn't come out here. It smells so good. The way the sides are all bubbled up, I'm a little bit nervous, but I know not to be. I know everything's fine.
Everything's fine.
But I just want it to be perfect.
It's going to be so good.
We get to have mac and cheese for dinner.
Oh,
we are going to have to let it rest for a second. So I'm going to pull it out here in a minute.
Okay.
Let's talk about what comes next. So we do have a couple things to post.
Jazzy, you can, but you have to come get it.
Yeah, you can have some. Silly. We made a whole pan.
Or are you going to say something about how we didn't bring you coffee? That's not my fault.
We brought you crab legs.
Yeah, we brought you crab legs.
Yeah, don't even try it.
Get out of here.
This birthday cake latte that I got today is definitely a sometimes food.
Yeah.
Wow, I'm wired. There's
I got
so much sugar now.
this one's a blondie, and it was caramel, butterscotch, and
I love butterscotch. Oh my god! I found a way to bring
White
this back to Cheese Week.
Mm.
Have you ever gone, and I wish that everybody lived here so that they could say that they've been there too. Have you ever gone to Columbia City to a place called Coffeeholic?
No.
It's Vietnamese coffee. Have you ever had Vietnamese coffee?
No. Should we go?
Yes.
Let's go.
This particular one it's a really good coffee, really good coffee, like Vietnamese coffee. If you've never had it, the flavor is exceptional. It's really, really good. And so it's Vietnamese coffee with a syrup that they squeeze in there that's bright purple because it's ube.
Oh.
Right? So there's ube around the drink, and then the coffee, and then they put a little ube on top, and then the top like 2.5, like inch and a half, 2 inches is a cheese foam. Does it sound delicious? Not necessarily. But what it tastes like is a ube latte cheesecake coffee, and that cheese foam is a little bit salty with the ube and the coffee, and you can't do anything else when you drink it but just drink it and have respect for it, and it's so beautiful and so delicious. And the place that sells it is also pretty beautiful and delicious, and that neighborhood's pretty cool.
Maybe we need to have coffee week.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah,
I could go a lot of places with that. Coffee
and we
week.
can make coffee cake.
Oh, I'm sold. Next week is coffee week.
Coffee week.
That's actually a really good idea.
Maybe.
Because there's some really cool stores down there. I don't know if we'd be able to stream in all of them, but there are some really cool ones. Let's check this mac and cheese.
Oh wow. Oh wow.
All right. Well, we're gonna call it.
Yeah.
Woo. We are gonna call it done. I'm gonna bring it over. We do have to let it sit for a second.
Yes.
Otherwise, it will burn our little faces clean off. I don't want to use these. They're so
All right. Wow,
What's
wow,
up?
wow, 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 wow,
Yeah.
wow.
Yes.
She is bubbling.
bubbling. Wait until you see this. Here. This is good. There's our little salad. Bobby, please get your cake out of the street.
So sorry.
Yay! Hi, guys. Okay, so here's one problem that you do get from using pretty shreddy cheese is that because of the cornstarch wilt, we could have rinsed this one, but it's gonna be fine. Yeah. Do you see all these bubs?
Yeah.
It's very loose. That's why we have to let it sit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna let it sit for a second before we taste it. This is gonna be the longest 10 minutes of our lives.
For real.
I wish we had another activity. Just chatting with our buds.
Just chatting with our buds.
Can we take a moment to acknowledge the improvement in the camera assist by Miss Abby? Yeah. Yes, it's incredible.
It's pretty good.
As far as I can tell, it stayed connected the whole time too, right?
I think so. Yeah, because look, we have our everything. We've been running for an hour and a half. Everything's going great. It hasn't broken up into a bunch of different videos.
And all we have left now to do
our
is
second
eat.
camera is working, which is incredible. The only thing, I don't know why it didn't let us see our chat on here, but that's okay.
We'll get that figured out. Also, we do have new mics, so I don't know if anybody's having a hard time hearing us. I'm trying to talk kind of loud, but we do have new mics. So we are getting our equipment figured out.
Yes.
It's not easy. Ooh. This was easy. That's not easy. Yeah. This was the easy part.
We can do that.
We can do that.
The cameras.
When we go thrifting on Wednesday, what kind of stuff are we looking for? I think that I want to make a special attempt at some really good Halloween decor and Halloween costumes for when we have Halloween week, which is coming up.
It is coming up also. We do love Halloween, so we're going to. We've got to look for some good
some
stuff.
Costumes and some Halloween stuff. And what else? What else are we looking for? Oh, I could use a really good high quality immersion blender.
Okay.
Mine went kaput. And they have really decent ones there because people don't know what to do with them, and they get them for gifts, and then they donate them, and then I find them.
And then we get them.
The coolest, it's funny because neither one of us has the room. You love a gadget.
I do love a gadget.
But we always look at the gadgets, and I don't love a gadget.
Ooh, someone in the chat is saying that, Jen, you have plenty of costumes.
That is not true. That's not true. Oh. And I might have costumes that are a little too slim for me now because it's been cheese week. So I don't know.
It's been cheese week for a year.
It has been cheese week for a year.
Yeah.
I really wish this would set up.
I really wish that I was coming up with things because I know there are things that I want and need.
Yeah. I can tell you that I don't need any more housewares. I don't. I'm pretty.
No, but it's my favorite.
And if I find something incredible, I'm still gonna buy it.
Yeah.
Clothes, I'm pretty straight.
Yeah.
I'm looking for this one elusive shirt, but we'll find it.
Yeah, we'll find that one.
I have been keeping an eye out for gluten-free cookbooks just so that I can kind of get my sea legs.
Yep.
My gluten-free sea legs. I'm always looking for good cookbooks, though. I'm always looking for a pretty thing to put a plant in and or on.
Yes. Yep. I recently, through Buy Nothing, have gotten a few different plant stands and pots and whatever, and it really just changing the elevation on them and being able to having them like not just have to sit on a table or on the floor has made a big difference.
Makes a huge difference. Huge. And people must know that because plant stands, they don't be playing around. Those shits are expensive.
So expensive. Yeah. So I got them for free.
Good shit.
Yeah.
I don't know how much longer I can wait.
I know it does look. Well, our bubbles did.
The bubbles
diminish,
flattened.
so that's something. It doesn't seem to be.
See how jiggly she is
anymore.
now. I know because I don't want to peel all the skin off. Okay,
Ooh, she's pretty solid.
Pretty tight. We could do it. Should we just do it? It's almost time.
Let's do it.
I'm really excited.
Yeah.
I just gotta remind myself that this is gluten-free because it looks so terrific.
It does look so terrific. Yeah, I'm really curious how the noodles held up. Hopefully they stay strong.
All right. I'm gonna toss our salad, Abby. Do I have your consent?
You have my consent.
Okay.
We won't burn ourselves.
But look how great that worked with the just leaving the vinaigrette at the bottom and then you do it. And you could actually do this like 30, 40 minutes ahead of time, set it in the fridge, wait for your guests to arrive, and then toss it up. Toss it up, toss it up, toss it up. Abby, may I dish you up some mac and cheese?
I would love that.
Oh, good God. Good God, Abby.
Don't break my camera setup.
I will, please. After everything we've been through. Yeah. Okay, I hope you can see this.
Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, if we let it sit up just a tiny bit longer, we would have a goo, a little gooier. But what we don't have is broken mac and cheese. Do you see how that's still so creamy?
Yeah, let me make this.
God, I wish that showed better. It no broken, just dreamy, creamy. The smell is outrageous.
Oh my gosh.
Maybe we should try to get... Well, Jazzy is very rarely wearing pants, so we can't invite her to join us.
Wow. This looks incredible.
It does look incredible, doesn't
incredible.
it? It feels like Fancy Mac, except we only used just domestic cheese.
Wow.
This is so good.
Wow,
okay, I'm just going to get a little... I don't know why I gave you so much. I like to put a lot of pressure on you.
I don't need that much mac and cheese.
Had we been more patient, we could have let the crust set up a little bit more, blah, 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 blah. We're only humans. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I need this cheese now.
Wow.
Yeah?
That dressing is phenomenal.
Yeah, it is good. It's
wow. I really like that a lot.
That little, here, we can get rid of the cheese can now.
Bye-bye, cheesy can.
It has been wonderful. What an experience, cheesy can. I'll never get tired of it. Yeah?
Yeah, well, I haven't tried the mac and cheese yet.
Oh, hi there. Are you here and ready?
She brought her own bowl. Please, may I have some?
But this has walnuttery in it.
Oh my god.
Abby, please.
That's her fault.
You just threw my fork away, so now I can't even eat my mac and cheese.
We don't have any complaining on this show.
I'm sorry.
I'll do the complaining around here. We got impatient, Jazzy, and we took it out of the oven before the cheese on top got fully melted, but listen.
Yum.
We're only human. I can't wait to hear what you think, Jazzy.
You
have been eating my mac and cheese your whole life. This one is gluten-free.
I'm not gluten intolerant. I'm cheese intolerant.
You're cheese, yeah. The gluten is not going to hurt Jazzy.
Oh no. Well, we'll clean my laptop later. I wanted them to see what the mac and cheese looked like.
The camera eats first.
Oh
Yeah.
my god. Oh my god. It's so good.
Wow.
Oh my god. It's so good. Oh, I swallowed it too hot.
Wow.
And now my whole chest is on fire, but I don't mind. If this is how I'm gonna go, bring it on.
Wow, this is phenomenal.
It's so good.
It's so good.
Yeah, you guys should make this.
We really should.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that, you know me, I like to push the seasoning to the absolute max.
Yeah.
I don't think it's over seasoned. It's definitely not over salted. It is so flavorful.
Mm-hmm.
It's really flavory. It's really good. It does have a definitely different texture than roux mac and cheese. You can definitely tell that it feels like it has a good amount of processed cheese in it.
Yeah.
But not like too much, like cheap cafeteria mac and cheese.
No.
I don't think so, do you?
No, definitely not. For my, like, if I were to make this again, I might add little onion powder.
Oh, yeah.
Because that is what my mac and cheese tastes like.
Yes.
And so my brain is missing that when I'm eating mac and cheese, but that's only because that's what my mac and cheese tastes like. And
onions. This is so good.
but otherwise, this
Sorry
is
about this.
phenomenal. This is so good.
Oh my god. Yeah. I'm gonna be eating this all week. And if you notice around it, there's no oily.
Nope.
It's not broken at all. You know, sometimes mac and cheese gets that like oily around the edges where the cheese is. It looks terrible in this light. It looks terrible in this light. It's not.
But yeah, you can see that it's just
It's so creamy.
creamy.
And even with the gluten-free noodles, it's delicious.
It is really
another
good.
success. Get that
Another success.
ugly shot out of there. Give it a try. We'll post the recipe tomorrow.
Yep.
You could again use the same technique to make a number of things. You want to make queso? I got you. You want to make rotel dip? Yes. Do you want to make? You could even make a cheese sauce just using your last little. You know how you like to buy the little bits and pieces of cheese at the cheese counter? You could make just a random sauce out of that and have a little cheese sauce. But the technique is fantastic, so we will definitely get that posted for you.
Wow.
I think this is a pretty solid kickoff to
Agreed.
Cheese Week.
Agreed. Okay, so for the rest of Cheese Week, today's Monday. We made mac and cheese. Phenomenal.
Very
Wednesday, we are going to go. We're gonna thrift because you gotta thrift. And then we are also going to go to the place
To get supplies
to get supplies so
To
that we
make
can
cheese.
make cheese.
on Friday, which is when we F around and find out. I've never made mozzarella cheese before. Abby has.
Once.
So we're going to attempt
like
it
15
live.
years ago, though. So
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I think we're going to try to make ricotta and
I'm on board for that.
mozzarella, and then we'll figure out what to do with our ricotta.
Yeah.
But the mozzarella we have big for because on Sunday we're going to attempt our campfire cheese and cracker / savory s'more appetizer idea.
So
And then we'll try a bunch of cheeses that day.
Yeah.
In fact, part of maybe on Wednesday, if we can find time across the street from the thrift store that we're going to, and I know you don't like this store, but there's a QFC across the street, and you know what QFC has? The cheese Remy bin with the little cheese remnants. Because wouldn't it be nice, although we're going to have our own little mozzarella to try, wouldn't it be nice to just find another couple cheeses to try?
Totally.
And we'll get some different crackers. You can have some regular crackers, then I'll have some gluten-free crackers, and we'll try a bunch of different cheeses, and we'll talk about cheese more because we love it. And we will stay cheesy, easy, and breezy because that's who we are, not gaslighty and gatekeepy like Abby says.
Right.
No. Thank you so much to those of you that were with us today. You guys are the best.
Thank you guys. We'll see you on Wednesday.
Hopefully. Yes.
Hopefully.
Ooh, there's a thumbs up. Where'd
Where's
that
that
come
from?
Hey!
That
I
was so
love
exciting.
That was exciting. That was as exciting as when that guy pretended to give us $10. Yeah. Oh well. We'll get over it.
That's it from us today. We will see you on Wednesday.
This was fun.
This was so fun.
And delicious.
this is delicious. So definitely
And gluten-free.
give it a shot.
But it doesn't have to be.
No.
So.
Yeah. This would be bomb. Regular
Bam.
nudes. Regular nudes.
Bam, bam, bam. All right. Thank you guys. Love you. We're going to eat.
Bye.